You don't have to fall in love planning to disappear. You don't enter a relationship thinking, one day I will forget who I am. And yet, for so many people, men and women alike, that's exactly what happens. Okay? Um, it happens not because you're weak, not because you didn't love hard enough, but because somewhere along the way, love stopped being a connection. It started to be a concession. And that's is why, or let me say, that is where the danger is. That is where the danger begins. This is a conversation for you. You who loves deeply, you who gives generously, you who believe relationships should always feel like home. This is for you, my Stand in Your Power family, because love was never, ever meant to cost you. Welcome back to Stand in Your Power. My name is Femi, and today we are talking about a topic that's very dear to my heart: why love should never cost you your identity. Okay? Now, love is meant to add to you, not erase you. Healthy love is supposed to expand your world. Healthy love doesn't shrink your world. Healthy love expands your world. All right? So when love is right, you don't become smaller. You don't become smaller to keep somebody comfortable when love is right. You don't dim your personality. You don't mute your voice. You don't second guess your instinct just because you want to maintain peace. No, not at all. When love is right, it completes you. It keeps you comfortable. But when love is wrong, you start making quiet trades. Okay? You stop dressing the way you like because it causes problem. You begin to soften your opinions so that you don't start arguments. I'm talking to both men and women here. You stop sharing your dreams because they feel too big for the relationship. Mhm. Mhm. You begin to apologize for your emotions instead of you being understood. When you say this is how I feel, sometimes you say this is how I feel, and the person will get angry, and then you need to start explaining or apologizing for how you feel. That's not love. And it doesn't happen all at once. All of this, you depleting yourself in love, happens slowly, politely, incrementally. And before you know it, you have totally lost who you are. And that, my brother, that, my sister, is why it is very dangerous. And there are subtle ways you lose yourself when you are in love. It doesn't really look dramatic. It rarely ever looks dramatic. In fact, it always looks reasonable. Mhm. It sounds like I will compromise. Okay. Oh, I understand that relationship requires sacrifice. You compromise first time, you compromise second time. And then it gets to the point where you are saying to yourself, let me not upset this person. It's not that serious. You are losing yourself. When you begin to use those words, let me not upset this person, it's not that serious. It is serious because your opinion matters. How you feel matters. Your identity matters. Sometimes you say to yourself, maybe I'm the one overthinking it. Maybe I'm asking for too much. No, you are not asking for too much. You don't deserve to be in a place where you are being breadcrumbed emotionally, financially, spiritually, psychologically. And before you realize it, your life begins to orbit around someone else's comfort. Before you say anything, I hope I won't make them angry. Before you dress up, oh, I hope you will like this dress. I hope she will like this dress. Before, you begin to lose yourself. You start measuring your words. Oh, I shouldn't be saying this. This is not something I should be saying. Okay? You start editing your joy. Woo! Have you ever found yourself in that situation where you are editing your joy? You got promoted at work and it's a huge one. You want to come home and share your joy with the person you are with. Maybe you got promoted and there are a lot of benefits that come with it. You begin to cut it down. You don't share the whole story. That is you editing your joy. When you are in a relationship and you begin to edit your joy, know that you're losing yourself. You begin to manage your excitement. And then you begin to shrink your needs. Oh, I don't need this. You say you don't need this so that they will not say you are a spendthrift. You are this. My sister, you are losing yourself. And you know the scariest part? Do you know the scariest part? The scariest part is when you begin to confuse your self-erasure with maturity. You see, there's a thin line between maturity and self-abandonment. Maturity is not self-abandonment. Love is not submission. And peace that requires silence is not peace at all. Quote me anywhere. When people stay, even when they are disappearing, then there's a problem somewhere. Let's be honest. You don't stay because you don't see what's happening. You stay because of what you hope will happen. That's why a lot of people stay in toxic relationships and they lose themselves. You stay because you remember you were who you both were in the beginning. You stay because you believe love should be patient. Oh, you don't want to fail at another relationship, so you stay. Okay? You've already, sometimes you tell yourself, I've invested so much time, I've invested so much emotional energy, and I've invested so much money. And sometimes you fear starting alone or over again. A lot of you fear starting over more than you fear losing yourself. So you begin to negotiate with your soul. I did this. And that's why I'm saying to you, never you get to that point where you are negotiating with your soul. And you are telling yourself, just endure a little longer now. They will change. Once they change, things will get better. Let me just be more understanding. You are lying to yourself. Because love that requires you to disappear today for a promise of happiness tomorrow is a debt that never, ever gets paid. And that's what I'm saying to you today. That love should never ask you to betray yourself. Love should never make you forget who you are. No matter what kind of love it is, whether it is mother and child love, relationship-wise, whatever it is, any relationship that thrives on your silence is not built on love. That relationship is built on control. I repeat, any relationship that thrives on your silence is not built on love. It's built on your control, on controlling you. I'm saying that because love does not ask you to stop being expressive. Love does not ask you to stop being ambitious. Love should not make you stop being playful. It shouldn't make you stop being curious. You see a lot of women, they say, oh, if I wasn't married, I would have achieved so much more. So love made you less ambitious. Love made you stop being playful. Some people say, I used to be very jovial, but now you are no longer jovial. Love killed your joy, right? You allowed it because you lost yourself. Love should not stop you from being emotional. Love should not stop you from being you. If loving someone means that you must constantly choose them over yourself, then that is not love. That is you betraying yourself. And the truth is harsh, but it is necessary. I'm going to say it as it is. I know I might be hitting some nerves, but it's okay. If I'm hitting some nerves right now, it's fine. Anyone who truly loves you wants you whole, they don't want you reduced. You can love deeply and you can still have boundaries. Now, standing in your power does not mean that you love less. Standing in your power just means that you love wisely. Standing in your power means that even though you have failed before, you can try again with experience and wisdom. Boundaries are not walls. They are just definitions. You need to create that boundary when you're in any relationship because they are definitions. And this boundary says, hey, this is who I am. Take me or leave me. Okay? When you set boundaries, you're saying, this is what I need. Is either this or nothing. Or this is what I will tolerate. Is either you give me that, you act like that, or you leave. When you set boundaries, you are teaching people how to treat you. You are saying, this is how I expect to be treated. And a healthy partner would not feel threatened by your boundaries, no. Rather, they will feel guided by your boundaries. Let me tell you, if someone reacts to your boundaries with anger, with withdrawal, with guilt tripping, with punishment, they were never interested in partnership. They were only interested in access. Let me repeat that one more time. If anyone reacts to your boundaries with anger, with guilt tripping, with withdrawal, with punishment, whether a man or a woman, they were never interested in partnership with you. What they were interested in was the access to you. And I need to let you understand that the cost of you losing your identity is too high. It's too high. When you lose yourself in love, the bill always comes due. It becomes a debt that you might never be able to repay. When you lose yourself in love, it shows up as resentment. You just become resentful, and you cannot explain why you are being resentful. When you lose yourself in love, you become emotionally exhausted. Oh, yes. Because when you love with your heart. We love you with your emotions. And then you lose yourself in that process. Emotional exhaustion comes in. You begin to have anxiety around communication. This is the cost of you losing yourself. That cost is too high. You begin to feel lonely even when you are married or when you are in a relationship or when you are partnered. And you have this quiet sadness that you cannot even name. And above all, you are losing yourself, then you become angry at yourself for allowing it. Is that not madness? And then one day you wake up and you realize, you say to yourself, oh, I'm in a relationship, but I'm not at home within myself. I don't feel myself, but I'm in a relationship. You see, that realization, it hurts more than any breakup ever could. It's even more heartbreaking than a breakup from a relationship. Why am I saying so? Because love should feel like alignment, not negotiation. You feel sad when you lose yourself because you betrayed yourself. You betrayed yourself because you're supposed to be in alignment with yourself, with your higher self, that self that God created. But no. So that's why I say you betrayed yourself. Real love feels like you being chosen without you auditioning for it. Okay? Real love feels like you being heard without begging. You being valued without shrinking. Whew. It's a lot. You being respected without fear. You don't lose your identity in a healthy love. No. Rather, you discover more of it. In a healthy love, you laugh louder, you dream bigger, you heal deeper, you grow stronger. Why? Because love should be a mirror and not a mask. It should be a mirror and not a mask. In my opinion, standing in your power means choosing yourself every time, choosing yourself too. Let this be your reminder. Okay? Whoever is listening to me, you are not too much. You are not difficult. Okay? You are not demanding for wanting to remain whole. In fact, you have the authority and you have a right to the audacity. You are allowed to love and still say, this doesn't feel right. You are allowed to love and still say, I need more. You are allowed to love and still say, I won't disappear to keep this relationship. See, standing in your power doesn't mean walking away at every first conflict. No. It means I refuse to abandon myself to stay. And I need you all to understand that. I wish someone had told me this a long time ago. I wouldn't have wasted 11 years with someone that eventually told me, I wouldn't have wasted 11 years loving someone that eventually told me that I married you out of pity. I married you because you got pregnant. I wouldn't have wasted 11 years of my life in that kind of relationship. If someone had told me, hey, you need to choose yourself all the time. Love that costs you your identity is too expensive. No relationship, no matter how intense, no matter how passionate or familiar, is worth the price of you losing who you are. Love should meet you where you are standing. That is where love should meet you. Love should not require you to kneel. No. Love should not require you to bend to become someone who you are not. It shouldn't. So, with all that being said, I want you to love boldly. I want you to love honestly. I want you to love deeply, but never love in a way that asks you to leave yourself behind. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because the greatest relationship you will ever have is the one that determines the quality of every other one. And that relationship is the relationship that you have with yourself. The greatest relationship you will ever have is the relationship you will have with yourself. And that is the relationship that dictates the quality of any other relationship. And that one relationship is a non-negotiable. That relationship you have with yourself should never be negotiated because of anyone. Okay? If this resonates with you, you already know why. Continue to stand in your power. I would see you in the next video. Let me know what your thoughts are concerning this in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section if you have ever shrunk yourself because of love, or if you've ever lost yourself because you were trying to be the best mother, be the best father, be the best sister, be the best wife. In what way have you lost yourself in a relationship? Type it in the comment section. Once again, my name is Femi, and I will see you in the next one. Keep standing in your power. Bye-bye. Do well to subscribe, like, share, and hype.